around March 1923 in Grange. My father was with a party bringing a prisoner for a court-martial. They were met by a lorry load of Free State Army in Grange. I think it was opportune for Free State men who blocked the road and fired on them, and they were captured. My father and Dick Morrison were captured, and the famous Bill Lennon, he was in the car also. He was shot, and the prisoner that they had was also shot because his hands were tied, and when the Free Staters shouted at him to raise his hands, he couldn't. The others tried to, but they were still shot anyway. My father was shot in the leg, and Dick Morrison was shot in the arm, or the hand, I think. And they managed to get into the church, but there was no sanctuary allowed by the Free Staters, so they were taken down to Dungarvan. They were brought into the old bank, where the old bank restaurant is now. That was the provincial bank then. And the Free State Army had taken it over. It was their West Waterford headquarters. So they were brought in there, and the two of them were beaten up. And while they were there was another chap, John Kirwan from Kilrossenty, who was there also, and he was very, very badly beaten, almost to death. He got a very bad beating. They were taken from there and put in prison in Ballybricken in Waterford. And while there, I found out many years later, I'd heard my mother had spoken about it in a kind of a joking way years after, that himself and a bloke called Kiley from Stradbally had attempted to tunnel their way out. And they had quite a bit of it finished until the night before. They were supposed to make the final push and get out. And the Free State Army that night chose to park their lorry over where the tunnel would end. And on soggy ground it went in. So that was the end of their tunnel. So they were taken from there, and he was put into Newbridge camp, into the actual barracks in Newbridge. It's gone now, it's been demolished, but there's a front wall still left, which I've seen. But he was in Newbridge barracks then until nearly around Christmas 1924, before he was released. The Civil War was over.